I'm starting to see more pussy excuses from you guys about not leaving the collapsing West. This may be a forever problem, unfortunately. But let me give an example. So years ago, when I used to debate monogamy, and I would fight with everybody on the internet about, no, Caleb, monogamy works as long as you find the right girl. Which, frankly, I don't need to do anymore, because even if you're the most hardcore right-wing tradcon conservative, you can't say monogamy works when you see everyone around you, in the Western world at least, getting divorced, breaking up, having affairs, cheating, right? So now I don't need to debate people about this. But for many years I did. And one of the aspects of that was the OLTR marriage, where you settle down with a woman, you're allowed to hook up with other women whenever you want, within a certain set of ground rules, as long as they're FBs, and you have enforceable, let me say that again, enforceable prenuptial paperwork that protects you in case of divorce. And I would have a bunch of guys saying, oh, that's a great idea. And I would have another bunch of guys who would say, well, I would never do that. I would never have an open marriage because, and then they'd give their excuse. What I started asking these guys was, and by the way, it's okay to not want to do something I recommend, it's fine. What I would start asking these guys, woo, it is bright. I want to wear shades. What I would start asking these guys is, what is your plan then? When you are going to settle down with a woman, and you know the vast majority of you will eventually want to do that eventually at some point in your life, just because you're 27 and say, oh, we're never going to get married. You will later, trust me. You'll want to settle down in some form or fashion. What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? If you're not going to do OLTR marriage, how are you going to do this? What are you going to do? Okay? People out here, it's a Sunday morning. Usually no one's out. The implied answer was, I'm just going to get monogamous. Now, they couldn't say I'm going to get monogamous because they would sound stupid. So they would say, well, I'm not doing that. It's the same thing here. When I do these walk-around videos here in Paraguay, I get positive comments. Well, Paraguay looks cool. I like it. It looks great. And I get negative comments. Oh, Paraguay looks terrible because, which is fine. It's the internet. It's fine. But the implied answer, whenever anyone says, I don't like Paraguay because, or Paraguay doesn't look good because, or Dubai looks like it sucks because, the implied answer is, I'm just going to stay in the collapsing USA and hope everything works out fine. No. That's not how this works. If instead you said, hey, Paraguay doesn't look good, I'm going to move to Panama instead. Great. That's fine. So what you have to do, what I might start enforcing, we're going to come up on a bunch of barky dogs. Here we go. What I might start enforcing on this channel, you want to see some dogs? Hang on. Hi, puppy. Yeah, you defending your house. Yeah. This is cute. This is what you get experienced in Paraguay, certain neighborhoods. Yeah, I know. Oh, here's a killer. Are you a killer? Are you a killer? Yeah, I know. This is why I'm moving next year. The new rule on my social media, I think, will be anytime you say anything negative about Paraguay or Dubai, which of course you're allowed to do, no one is trying to sell you on these two countries in particular, I'm going to say, great, where are you moving to then? In other words, if you say, Paraguay looks like it sucks because XYZ, or Dubai sucks because, great. What country are you moving to? What non-Western country are you moving to when you leave the collapsing USA, or cuckoo Canada, suicidal Europe, junkyard Germany, breakdown Britain, fucked up France, authoritarian Australia? Where are you going? And if you can't answer that question, you got a problem. You're being a puss. And to be fair, I do get those comments sometime. I got a comment a while back when I was saying something positive about Dubai. More doggies. And a guy was saying, fuck Dubai, Dubai sucks. I would never go there. I'm going to Brazil. Great. Those comments I respect. If you say I hate Paraguay or Dubai, they don't look good, and instead I'm going to go to blank other country, wonderful. Those are good. But instead, a lot of you are saying, I wouldn't go to Paraguay. I'm just going to sit here in the United States and hope Trump fixes everything. Yeah, Trump, who just passed a new spending bill, is going to require $3.4 trillion of new spending. Trump, who does whatever Israel says, because he's Israel's bitch and bombs countries because Israel tells him to. Trump, who's running interference for Jeffrey Epstein. You're using the excuse of not liking 2 countries out of 200. I don't like Paraguay, and you just sit there. Paraguay is one country of about 200. Here's a shocking piece of news for you. There's Paraguay, and there's a country you currently live in, probably the United States. There's at least 198 other countries in the world besides those 2 countries. Besides Paraguay/Dubai and the country you currently live in, the collapsing Western shithole that you're living in right now. You have another 198 countries to choose from. These aren't the only 2 options. It's not stay in my current country or go to Paraguay, or stay in my current country and go to Dubai like Caleb did. No, those aren't your options. There's 198 other countries. Well, a lot of those countries suck too. That's correct. So there's approximately a short list of about 27 really good countries you could move to and you would enjoy. I've covered these in my other videos, live streams, books. About 27, 28 countries. You don't like Paraguay? Go to Uruguay. You'd love Uruguay. It's great. But just pointing at a country that I happen to like and saying, I don't like that, and then there's a period at the end of the sentence, there's nothing else. What you're really saying is, I'm a beta male puss, and I'm just gonna stay in my collapsing Western country. And I don't care what happens because I'm gonna look at one country that Caleb likes and say no, therefore I'm gonna stay in my current collapsing country. No. If you don't like Paraguay, that's fine. If you don't like Dubai, that's fine. I've never said, and I've said this, been very clear about this. That's like a kid's school. It's not a gay thing. No one's trying to sell you on Dubai specifically. I've said many times there's people in my audience who wouldn't like Dubai. There's a percentage of people who wouldn't like Dubai. There's a percentage of people who might like Paraguay. That's fine. Those are only 2 options out of about 27, motherfucker. So from now on, if you say anything negative about Paraguay or Dubai on any of my channels, which you're allowed to do, please do that. That's fine. You need to immediately follow up and say, where I'm moving to instead is this. Those I respect. That shows me you're not being a pussy, you're not making excuses. But if you just say Paraguay looks shitty because of blank, or Dubai looks terrible because of X, because when I start doing these walk-around videos in Dubai, I'm gonna get the same thing. I'm gonna guys who say, oh wow, Dubai looks great. And I'll get other guys who go, oh, I'll never go to Dubai because I hate cities. Great, where are you going there? Where are you living then? Where are you leaving? When are you leaving? What's your plan? Put your money where your mouth is.